And I'm getting ready to paint, and here's my paint trays, and I'm going to do a little test here. I've been telling you that I should be able to rip this out of a plastic throwaway paint tray after, 8 or 9 times that you use this. And we're just going to see whether or not I can actually do it or not. Okay? Most of the time I can. Now this has been sitting in there for quite some time. I'm going to get a little putty knife and let's just see if it's going to come out or if I'm going to have to throw it away. And I did use this to paint some door frames yesterday, and I was painting the door frames, I don't know, door frames and different things for maybe 4 hours. And the longer you have paint in a tray where you had other dry paint from before, let's say, you get that paint in there too long, it could start flaking up, peeling up residues from your last paint. And towards the end, because I hardly had any paint in here left, with my paintbrush, I kept getting little bits on my door frames, and it was because it was coming up. And so I don't really want that. Let's just, come on. I might have to get a screwdriver. Man, you can make a liar out of me, huh? I mean, generally it works, and I don't know. Here we go. Let's just see. Let's just see what happens here. I've got lots of paint in here. Look at that. I'm hoping I don't rip the little plastic tray. Sometimes the bottom of the tray will want to start ripping. Look at that. Still coming. Oh! No, I thought I ripped the tray, but I didn't. I did not rip the tray yet. The plastic bit. Good grief. I had lots of paint in there. I told you it was weighing quite a bit. Look at that. There's all my paint in that paint tray. And see, there's a little bit left in the bottom of that paint tray, and that is because the very first time I used this particular paint tray, I used flat paint. Now, if I was doing eggshell, satin finish, or semi-gloss paint, and that was the only thing I had in this tray, or if I used that for the first 1 or 2 times I used this paint tray, it would have peeled out nice and clean. See, there's no rips in it or anything. And I could clean out any residue out of there and make sure I don't have any bits or pieces. And there's my tray. I can reuse that for painting walls. I've got some more door frame, well, I got one door frame to paint, and I'm gonna end up using a brand new one for that. But like if I was doing walls with a paint roller or for ceilings or something, I could spend a little bit more time on this, get all the little bits out of here, okay? And then I can use that for my flat paint, for my eggshell paint, for rolling on walls. I probably wouldn't want to put finish paint on here. I mean, I could for baseboards and stuff, and just use a little paintbrush and dab in here. Okay, so there you go. And like I say, I could spend a little bit more time on this. And granted, these things cost you about $1 at the store, but sometimes you don't have to throw them away. See, here's another one I use for other painting. This one here, I've used this for painting a ceiling. This one I used to do some touch-up on the walls. And I had tried to rip some paint out of this one from before, but it had other stuff in it too. I ripped a hole in it, and I put some duct tape on it. And hey, I could even put another little piece of duct tape right there. Most of the time, I only put the paint in from here to here anyways, you know? And so I can still use that one. Here's a brand new tray I still got. I got two brand new trays here. And I have this other tray. Why this one is not the same size as everything else is beyond me. But it's still, you know, it fits in there like that. So if I put it in there, then it kind of messes with these other ones. Okay. All right. So hey, I think it actually worked. See? And if that's all you had to do and paint some more, why not? I never use this brand new paint tray. I mean, it's not brand new anymore. And I used to have a heavy plastic one, and I like that one better because then if I slide it along the floor, I don't scratch up the floor. These things bend and stuff. And but I don't know what happened to that tray. But next time I went to the store, I couldn't find any plastic ones, so I got the metal one. But see, I've been carrying this around for years. I never paint in it because I always use the paint inserts. Okay, have fun with your painting. Look at that. How's that look? Does that look like a professional did it? Does it look like somebody put masking tape down there? I don't use masking tape. Forget that mess. I don't do stuff like that. This is all painted. If you want to look up there, the top of each one of these has been caulked and it's been painted. Same thing over here. I didn't recalk all of these edges. I looked at them to see how well they were. Most of them were fine. But if you see any little bits that need to be caulked, caulk them first before you get ready to paint. Okay? Well, these look professional. I mean, I think they look pretty good. I even got the wall paint in here, believe it or not. And the way I did that is I had to paint that wall paint on there first before I painted the door casing. Okay? That way it looks the same color. I had to do the same thing over here. I had to get in there. Boom. That was kind of tricky, but I had to do all the wall paint first, and then I got a little bit of wall paint on there. That's fine. I just wiped it off. Not wiped it off, but just wiped it so it was flat. Okay? Before I painted these door jambs on those short little areas. Okay? And now I can go back and look at them. And see, I told the carpet guys, I said, be careful because the door frames have just been painted, the baseboards have just been painted. Be as careful as you can. Mind you, they've been drying for 2 or 3 days. I don't care who installs your carpet. It's very difficult to not get any marks because they use a carpet cutter on the side, and it has a little foot thing on it and a handle, and they push it right up against the baseboard and they cut the carpet before they stretch it and tuck it down in there. It's kind of a slick tool, but it puts little, it marks up your baseboard. See, I can see little remnants. See, here's a mark right there. Here's another one down in there. It's just really difficult. So you have to ask yourself, if you've just painted your baseboard, how particular do you want to get down there on cleaning that? Some of that can be cleaned off with a sponge and some simple green. I've tried it and stuff, but I'm going to do a once over, and I'm going to look at different things. I see here's a little bit of paint that's come off, that's marked that when they cut the carpet. And I mean, they can only be so good. You see, so I can touch that up real easy, can't I? Here's another one I see. See right there? Here's another little mark right there. And as they cut the carpet and flopped it down, you see here's a little black mark right there. Some of that could be cleaned off. See? Some of it could be cleaned off. And then the first thing the movers did when they came up here, I said, be careful with everything. First thing he does, he brings in, it cracked me up too. He was bringing these things in, okay? These little nightstands. And he's coming around the corner here. Coming around the corner when she comes, and he nicked this, and it flaked that MDF right off. And so I tried to caulk that, and I probably have to touch that up with paint again. See how it's kind of slightly discolored? So you can look at your door casings, and I'll do a once over. I'll do a once over and take a good meander, take a good look on that, and look at my baseboard, see if there's any little marks that I can fix. Then I can say, okay, I've done my duty. Don't those look good? I painted them myself. Hey, I'm just an average Joe. I'm not a licensed professional painter, and I'm proud to say that too, by the way. See, there's that mark again. You can see it, can't you? Right there. Now, granted, if this baseboard would have been painted, a year ago, and I didn't have to come in and repaint them, they still might put a slight mark on your baseboards. It's just a given, but it's not something that most people see or anything. So if I really want to get wiggy, and I'll work on that with my simple green and a sponge. And if I want, I can take a putty knife and kind of push down on it. I could even take some masking tape, put masking tape here, and kind of hold that down. And then I can just carefully cut that in and get that off if it really bothers me. But I want to make sure that if I do something like that, if you do something like that, you don't want to get it on the carpet. Come on. That's the last thing you want to do. Okay, so here's another door casing here for this where the washer and dryer is. There's another one over there. All nicely done, huh? It just looks like somebody came in here, and I paid a fortune to have them come in here and make everything look nice and pretty and clean and bright, and no paint overage. Look how nice and tight those inside corners are. You know, now look at that. Here's another door frame. Look, see the black? I'll take some simple green and try to get most of that stuff off. I'm just noticing that. And here's some more right there. Now see, when the guy was installing this carpet, can you believe this carpet, full length, 12 foot, what is it, 9 feet wide? I think carpet's 9, I forget now, if carpet's 9 feet wide or 12 feet wide. I forget, but anyways, he unrolled it from here, and he folded it, and this same carpet, he didn't stop it here. There's no seam here. There's no seam there. This piece of carpet right here, boom, goes all the way down. He was huffing and puffing too, and the seam stops right in there. And so all of this, boom, all of this right in through here up to, I don't know, wherever his seam is, right in over to there. That was one full piece that he folded through the door opening, and he cut it in such a manner and stuff, and all the pieces he cut and saved, he ended up using down the stairs. Everything has to be going the same direction and all that kind of good stuff. So no wonder this one's got some marks on it. I mean, he did pretty good. But those aren't marks from me, that's marks from him. Let's look on this side over here. There's another little one there. So I'm gonna have to go through and take a good look at these. See there? There's some more right there, right there, right there. It's where they cut the carpet and folded it into the closet and stuff like that. See? I didn't leave these casings like that. Okay? So yeah, that's another thing I'm gonna have to do before I call these good. But you know, is that caulked on the top? I'll give you one answer for that. And nicely been cut in. I even did a good job in the closets. Hey, there's a bathroom. I ended up I'm gonna be painting the bathroom later, so I just went up to here. From here back, I'm gonna paint that later when I repaint this bathroom. Okay, because it's gonna take me a while to cut this in down by the tub, down next to the cabinet. Boy, that one by the cabinet, man, I'll probably end up having to take that cabinet door off. And it only comes off with 2 screws down there. Then I can cut this in. I can cut this in nicely. I'll be taking my time on that. We'll already be moved in by that time.